you could look into 2023 and go, I'm not even going to keep a placeholder in the old me. I'm not going to be excited about when I can be done with this. I'm not going to be like, because I'm choosing the new life. And when you choose the new life, your life just becomes a massive amount of ongoing lessons, freedom, joy, and surrender. I was on a 10-day cleanse, and then I got to day 5 and did a little traveling. So I started over. So right now I'm on day 4 and I am feeling so good. And, I'm deciding to go 10 days. And I have to tell you guys, what it gave me as a lesson yesterday is something that I really realized. It was such a paradigm shift for me. And I realized it's something I wanted to share with you. And I want you to, again, remember, I'm only sharing what I know works for me. So I completely can appreciate wherever you are. And I'm just going to share the revelation that I had about this. And then we'll go into some really fun Q&A, see how many questions we can get on that. Anyway, I'm really enjoying having my body just completely only on really good stuff and not eating all this other stuff. And to do these things, one of the things that showed up in me was yesterday was day 3. And I noticed myself being very excited about when day 10 is here and I could go back to coffee, or I could go back to whatever, regular food, or I could go back to just looking forward to a restaurant again. And that created a contrast in itself, right? That in itself created 2 worlds. There's a world where I'm going for higher health while I still got one foot in the world of my other life. And I noticed that just looking forward to the old way that I was living before the cleanse is actually creating a contrast. And this higher me goes, I want you to let go of that life much more than just for the 10 days. It started going, just so you know, you can completely transform. You can continually move to a higher level. You can keep going. And it's funny how, if you think about us meditating, when we go, okay, I'm going to meditate an hour, and you spend a lot of the time grabbing onto, I can't wait to get out of the meditation, whatever, go back on social media, go back to my regular life, go back to the world where I'm gossiping or whatever. And so we have this new life that we want to have. And then we also have this old life that we're used to. And we do this with everything. You could break up with someone and then stay really connected to them. You could continually kind of like have this hope that someone from your past sees you. All these things are, you kind of, I'm going to get better and then grab onto the old life again. And this is why we go back and forth. One of the reasons why we sabotage things, it's like you have this higher you, but you're not leaving the old life. And this cleanse said to me, for you to continue this, I want you to not look forward to going back to the old way at all. And I want you to picture this is a lifestyle change, that you're going to move to higher and higher. Doesn't mean I can't go to restaurants again, but it goes, stop grabbing your old life while you're moving towards your new one. And then these higher glimpses of me just staying in it farther and doing more and continually getting healthier and healthier and being more and more hydrated, and just not being a person that drinks coffee ever, or not being a person that whatever, and just like really starting to say, what is the highest version of me? And instead of me just doing something while grabbing the old way, going, I'm really curious what the highest version of me is. What's me really connected? What's me, I know you knew that I've probably told you about that. I'm doing this thing where I can only check my Twitter between 9 and 10 a.m. I'm now going several days without even looking at it. And when I started it, I was like, okay, I'm doing this till Christmas. And now I'm like, why would I ever just go back to just always checking it? Right. Like, and it was like, why don't you just enjoy the silence at night and the not grabbing your phone and just really hear? And then this higher me last night was lying down and it goes, there's nothing in there that's as good as what this is. It goes, there's nothing in there that's as good as what I got for you. And this higher me last night was like, I got everything for you. It goes, you're so connected to this, and you don't need to show anyone you're connected to it. I mean, do your job, but I don't need to convince anyone of me or grab onto the old world or please see me. Even little things of that. Like, it's just like, what is trying to birth through you permanently? What is trying to birth through you as your new life? What is trying to birth through you as a new level of health? What's trying to birth through you as a new level of fitness, as a new relationship, as a new you, as a new everything? And not that, and then I can have the old world. Do you see the difference? I think that's something we do. We grab onto the new world and the old world. I'm grabbing this thing I want, and then I'm, okay, I got it. Now back to the old world, right? Now, when you move to a new location, you can't do that. You can't go, okay, I really want to live in this city, so I'm going to go there and then tell everyone in the old city about it and really live in the old city while all of my soul is dying to live in the new city. You have to live in the new city and let go of the old city. It's easier to do that with that because it'd be insane to move that frequently, but we very rarely do that just in our life, right? In just how you live. And your intention, if you keep moving with your intention, you're going to go through some pain because the old habits come up. But if when the old habits come up, you don't feed them with the old life, then what happens is eventually the pain goes away and your intentions will start to beat your habits. And I find that when your intentions start to beat your habits, they become your habits and you win the game of life. Like the second your intentions beat your habits, you win the game of life, right? And what we do is we create in ourselves, without thinking about it, a battle between our intentions and our habits, right? You have what you truly want, and then you have how you live. So you might go a little bit, you start towards something, or you meditate a few days, and then right when it starts to get good and start to bring all the darkness up, you go back to the old way and you go, yeah, it doesn't work, right? So that's our pain. And that's one of the many reasons why we sabotage, because we kind of still have this placeholder in our old life, even when we're moving towards the new life. I mean, wouldn't it be weird to move to one city while being like, oh, I can't wait till 10 days from now when I can go back to the old city, right? So it's funny because the cleanse said for me to move forward, I have to undo my placeholder of when this cleanse is done. I have to stop looking forward to the older me that would eat a certain way, do a certain thing, and kind of be in this balance between the fit me and the cute, slightly chubby me, but the true me wants the fit me. But then some days it just has that passing thing. It goes, yeah, but this habit's louder. Nah, I want to go all the way now. And it's okay if you live in a moderation world, and every part of me is just talking to me right now. But there's some of you that this might really click for, to say, man, what would happen if you just kept going and said, this is my whole life, where you threw out the old way, where you just like could have it every once in a while, but it sure wasn't all you're thinking about while you're doing the new way, right? And that's what people, I think, when they meditate, you know, you're like, okay, I'm going to meditate this hour. And then when I'm done, it's going to be so great because I did that. And I can't wait to go back and check this or tell everyone about it or go back into my pattern. And like, what if the meditation's an access point to leave your pattern? What if you kept meditating? Or what if you just didn't go back into the thing that takes you out of your meditative state, right? So that's available for you. And we could really, really, really go into 2023 full on. Like we could go, I want to keep going until my intention is my habit, not my intention fights my habit. Not I'm going to, you know, every new year we start this resolution, right? And we go, I'm going to do this. And I'm sure, Mike, you would agree that the gym is completely full at the beginning of January for about 2 or 3 weeks, right? Because they still entered their New Year's resolution with the old habit, right? So they're still in, I really am the person from before the new year doing this thing with this intention, but who I truly am is the old life. You are not the old life, and it's up to you to move in a new way so that the old life kind of starts deleting itself. The old body patterns, the old everything in your body that says the old way. You could decide today, first of all, to make the New Year's resolution. You have to wait till January. But you could also decide this is it. Not I'm going to go and just do it and then that's it. There's even a way that people think they're doing it for the year, but they still got an energetic placeholder in their old life. So when they're going even on day one of their New Year's resolution, they're like, oh, I can't wait to be the old way. And then, I'll get to this point, but then be the old way again. And I want to offer you the idea that you aren't the old way. You just believe you are. And what I can offer you that you can receive at the level that you want to is you're an infinite, unfolding, magical being. And every time we continually keep the placeholder in our old way, which we do primarily while we're moving towards the new way, we're literally like getting on a boat. Literally is the wrong word because you're not getting on a boat at all, but you're getting on a boat and it's leaving, but you keep one foot on the dock, right? And so we got to get on the boat and go, right? And that's something that you could look into 2023 and go, I'm not even going to keep a placeholder in the old me. I'm not going to be excited about when I can be done with this. I'm not going to be like, because I'm choosing the new life. And when you choose the new life, your life just becomes a massive amount of ongoing lessons, freedom, joy, and surrender. And once I surrendered, I can't wait till day 10 where I can eat the old way or whatever. I've now been since yesterday just in this kind of unknown expansion and just seeing that get better and bigger and really enjoying the moment versus kind of holding the old way, right? And so that could be for you via meditation, you getting off social media, you moving, you living a certain way, you letting go of the places that you don't need, you changing your spending habits, you letting go of a relationship, you moving towards a higher version of you and not grabbing your ex, you letting go of friends that you don't align with, you creating new friends with people that are in a vibration that feels like a calling to you or permission or normalizes a higher level of health, right? All of these are available for you. So you could go into next year and go, this isn't the same New Year's resolution. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just start accessing what I truly am while undoing what I'm not from my mind and my body, right? Undo from your mind and body what you're not, so that you're not doing the new thing while thinking the old way, right? Doing the new thing while thinking the old way, right? We want to get your patterns and all of you in alignment with the new way, and then they follow the new way. You don't have home the same way in this way. In other words, we associate the familiar as home, and it's not home, right? That familiar person, that familiar old life, that familiar food, that familiar alcohol, that familiar coffee, that familiar person, that familiar friend, right? All of that crap, that's great, but you are home. And your expansion is home. And when you make a thing in the physical reality more your home than your expansion, you're actually cutting yourself off from the true essence of what you are for the conditioned lie of what you're not, right? You can still have whatever you want of those things, but don't make them any more home than you are. So when you move into the higher you, right, you have to make your home be the now, versus that place, that drink, that thing, that food, that familiar, right? We are letting go of familiar because we've trained ourselves that familiar is home. I realized that the content that's coming through it's something that it's weird. The content that comes through, I'm realizing that it's just true. And our argument with it is our argument with what's true. And that's the true essence of our pain. Like someone said a couple weeks ago on one of the calls, it's hard for me to accept this. And that's our problem, is it's hard for you to accept the true essence of what you are, which means we're carrying a complete lie over and over and over again. We're just in denial about what's true. So to give you an example, it is completely in all of our minds. This is something I said on this morning's call that we put out from an awesome interview with Jared that I don't know if you saw yet, but check out the YouTube video we put out this morning. It has completely been put in our minds that attachment is love, right? And our pain comes from saying literal sentences like, but I love that person so much, that's why this hurts. No, you're actually speaking from a lie. That's attachment and that's control. And everything in the world is just trained you that what we call love, it's actually attachment. And if we could just say the right language and actually identify things as they are, we'd be so much closer to the truth, right? So I said to the person, it might have been Kathy G a week ago or something, or a couple weeks ago, she said, I'm having a hard time accepting this. Or she said, I can't accept this. And I just had her change it to, I don't want to. That's more true, right? I don't want to accept this. Do you hear the difference? That gives you total power. So it's a choice. I can't is a lie. Yeah. So Elise says, so much resistance. Your resistance is to what is, not what I'm saying. The resistance is to what is. We're identified with a false character that is based on control and not getting hurt and survival, right? And what I'm saying is death to that character, but the birth to the infinite magic that you are. You are a miracle. You are an infinite unfolding being. Everything is amazing. You have to get in alignment with the truth and stop saying your truth is in this person, this job, this thing, this whatever. That's where your limitation is. This lie that you just say. And if we just get to what's true, you won't believe how free you are. You'll be shocked at how free you are. It's just in the language, right? I mean, in the last couple of weeks, I've heard 10 different things that are so generalized, like the sentence, I know you've probably heard me say this before, but the sentence, they broke my heart. That's not a thing. They broke your expectations. No one can break your heart, but when they break your expectations, they can get you closer to your heart. So you have to undo the lie that something can break your heart. That's you handing your heart over to someone. So it's not your heart, it's expectations, because your heart's still in your body, right? So that language, right, makes it much more pain because you are believing a lie. If you say what actually happened, they were with me for a while and then they weren't, or they were with me for a while and they hooked up with someone else. They were with me for a while. That's just what is, right? And if you stop bringing time in, you don't have a timeline that keeps inertia, that creates an expectation. I'm with them this long, so they owe me longer, right? Crazy. No. If something's aligned in a moment to moment, it could become a good long-term thing. But if you're just saying they broke my heart, you're just a giant expectation and you don't know that. And that's why we're hopeless if we are not caught in what the true language is. And movies and love songs have made us believe they should all be called codependent songs, except for a couple actually empowering songs. Right? I was hearing the song the other day, I Only Have Eyes for You. And I just pictured a woman being on a date with a guy. The song, I Only Have Eyes for You, he says, are the stars out tonight? Now picture, I don't know if it's cloudy or bright. Now take the music out and just picture a dude on a first date with you, or worse, 3 years in with you, and just staring at you because they literally are, I only see you. I don't know if I'm in traffic or a garden, right? These are, I don't know if we're in a garden or a crowded avenue. If you were the woman that this dude's singing to, you would be like, are you nuts? Cannot date you. That is, and it's one of the most beautiful songs in our culture. This is so beautiful. I'm just picturing a guy just staring. I can't see anything but you. Well, shit, the bill is here. Do you want to pay our taxes? Or are you just going to stare at me? And I'm just weirded out and horrified. This is a nice, slow, romantic love song that came out in like the late 50s or early 60s that is just like, that sets the tone for incredible codependency. And our only problem is we have the wrong language to everything. That song should be called I Have an Intense Problem. You should probably leave. Not, I don't know if we're in a garden. I don't know if we're in a garden. Just this poor woman has to explain everything to him. Oh, well, yeah. Well, we're on the freeway and I'm going to move you. And I just picture her moving him out of the way and he's just staring at her while she's like, God damn, this is the worst man for me. And she's totally stuck with him because if he can't see anything but her, he's going to go crazy when she disappears because he can't see now. That is an example of the lie that has been cemented in your mind that love and attachment are different. Dude, love is now only. It's all that is. It's what you are, and it's what you're missing out on experiencing because of attachment. It's what you're missing out on experiencing because of your old way. It's what you like. The real essence of love is blocked by all this conditioning. And if you would just connect to the now and really hear, these things like, I can't, that is a lie. At least say you can and choose not to, right? You can do a lot. You are capable of a lot. You are capable of a ton in 2023. You feel that? You are so capable of becoming so magical, synchronistic, powerful, healed. If you would be real with the language and stop staying in the small thing. Right? Paula says, why do we keep choosing not to? Here's my answer for you, Paula, because that's the question you're asking, right? I want you to just notice how that question comes from the given that you have to now. Here's me making that a better, phrasing for you that's more true. Why have I in the past done that? And then even more, does it matter why I've done it in the past? Right? Will I now choose my highest? Will I now choose me? Will I choose to commit to it? Will I give myself a million reasons why I'm so curious that are so open-ended and magical, right? Feel that for a second. Will I? That's, Paula, ask that question. Will I step into my power? Do you hear how if I say all this, I want you to just check out the energy in your body when I say this. Okay, you are an infinite being. You're so powerful. And then right there I go, why don't you ever choose it? Do you hear the dead end of that question? Do you hear that question just completely makes your mind, did you hear how the old story asks it? Why do I not do this? Why do I keep the old way so much? The best answer you could get is maybe, oh, because I did when I was a kid or something. But you hear how the dead end is still empowering the small you, right? So Paula, today's the first day that I'm going to dare you to ask yourself massively empowering questions. And that's specific to you, Paula, and anyone else that wants it, right? Kathy says, how good can this get? That's much higher, right? Do you feel that? Like how free could I be? How synchronistically am I tied to the world? How much do my highest how much does it, even if I don't physically do anything to change it, how much does it change my reality? Does the world mirror me? There's only one way to find out. I'm going to find the freest version of me. Like, do you see that? Do you see the empowered, much better question there? How good can this get? What could I feel? What level of health could I be at? How abundant am I really? Feel that one. How successful, how impactful, how connected to myself, how free, whatever feels good for you. Pick and choose from that. You don't all have to become authors tonight, but it could be, how free could I be? What's the one that fits your body? What could my life be like completely alone for a year? What if I don't, whatever? What if I don't have that job and I don't know what happens? What if I let go of that person? What if I let go of living with that person that I feel has been controlling every aspect of my life? What if I let go of answering that person that's not empowering me? What would I be like on the other side of that? How hydrated could I be? How much sleep could I get a night? Make those kind of questions, line them up for 2023. Right? Feel free to start it today. You could make your New Year's resolution tonight or tomorrow night. You could be like, now, right? How incredible could I be? Don't get too caught on all the things that are predicted. Like, in other words, like I've heard someone say there's going to be the biggest recession of next year. I know there's aspects of control. Undo yourself from it. What if the world mirrors you? What if part of the control is that you're giving your power away and not finding the higher you, right? Whatever it is, what are you, even if that recession happened and took us to the greatest depression, what is you in your highest power? Are you even affected? Could you end up accidentally healing it vibrationally, right? What higher callings are trying to talk to you? Do you hear that one? What higher callings are trying to talk to you, but can't get to you because you're on TikTok, right? And what happens if you get off that? Do you feel what I'm saying? What higher callings, what next steps, what free version of you could come through, right? If you got off of whatever, undid yourself from, let go of, right? Do you feel this? Get in alignment with the true you, right? Don't just do a thing for a while and then go back to the old way, right? Unless that is your calling, then go for it. You can keep whatever calls to your soul and whatever expands you and whatever, like keep your kids, right? But you don't have to go back to being who you used to be. There's a new you trying to birth through every second. And if you keep following it, you will be amazed at how much it keeps going. So let go of the old way to birth the new world. You are infinite. There's a you that is so powerful. And I'm so excited to watch you guys join me as we go into the future and find aspects of ourselves that we had no idea existed. This isn't just getting over an addiction. This is, screw that type of thinking. This isn't just getting over a thing where you keep yourself as the small problem, right? And then finally get over it. It's like you become what you truly are. The you that is truly here isn't addicted to things. That comes from you are arguing with the true essence of what you are. If an apple tree didn't make apples, it would get sick and then addicted. It would have to live on Netflix because it's not giving its gift. It would just have to have Netflix, right? I just need to watch something because if I'm not in the giving or the higher me, I'm just going to be a collection of addictions and create potential more illness and all those other things because stagnant energy is living in my body. No stagnant energy this year. It's not you. It has nothing to do with the true essence of what you are. Even if you've had patterns like this your whole life, it's not what you are. Connect to what you are. You can do it starting this second. Join me in starting this second.
Hey, it's Kyle, and I'm pretty congested right now, but that's not going to stop me from giving you the greatest deal I've ever offered on the Absolutely Everything Pass, ever. Usually our Absolutely Everything Pass is $79 a month, and you can get a year for $795. But right now, over the holidays, I'm giving you an offer of the Absolutely Everything Pass for one entire year for $299. That's literally the price of going to a therapist, or 1.5 therapists if they're not that good. That literally breaks down to about 30 to 40 cents per hour, because there is now over 1,000 hours combined from what we've done so far and what's coming next year on the Absolutely Everything Pass. There are 725 hours of past calls, and next year we're going to be doing about 250 live calls, plus all of our live events. Every single thing we've ever done and everything we're doing, you can have now for $299. That's a quarter of a tank of gas. When you go to the website, you can click a link, it'll say it's $795. You type in the word water and it will suddenly become $299. And then you can spend next year watching this thing pay for itself over and over and over as you make higher and higher decisions, release things that don't align with you, move into a higher vibration of your own body, move into a higher health, and watch as the world starts to mirror the things that you're doing. Join us on the Absolutely Everything Pass, commit fully, and you won't believe the results.